Boom.
It's starting.
Indeed. No, it was not fine. Full on. Alright. Hello, everyone. I am Hacklebeast here, co-commentating with Balker U. ISL Round of 8. TechnicS versus Sziky. Sponsored, of course, by Altitude the game. Go to altitudeisl.net to get a link to download the game. It's free to play. It's lots of fun. But do it after this series. Do it after this, both of these series, because these are going to be some good series. I do hope. We have TechnicS, we have Sziky as the red Zerg in the left position, and we have TechnicS as the teal Zerg in the right position on Heartbreak Ridge.
And I want to make a guess about the builds. I'm guessing that Sziky will go 12 pool, 11 gas, 11 hatch at a natural, and TechnicS will go over gas.
I think that's a pretty good guess. TechnicS, it plays ZVZ a little bit differently than everybody else does. He gets an in-base hatchery almost every game. And he'll get an in-base hatchery either off of just a straight-up 12 hatch or off of an overgas.
Ooh.
And it's an interesting kind of build because it really sets him up to go for some weird timing attacks where, actually no. TechnicS is just going
Yeah.
for a 9 pool.
I didn't
Interesting.
expect that.
TechnicS does not play 9 pools very often. He almost always prefers that overgas so that he can have a timing attack where he gets a lot of gas, then can spend, he can buy 2 hatcheries worth of Mutalisks for a while and get a really strong attack off on Sziky, even though he only has 1 base. But
That's a 12 hatch.
and Sziky's got a 12 hatch. This is a 2-player map. There is no chance that TechnicS is going to go in the wrong direction. Well, I guess we're going to get to see Sziky's famous micro very early here, because he's going to have to micro for his life to hold off. And Heartbreak Ridge is not even a map where the 2 mains are very far apart, so Lings are going to get there really early.
It's rather far apart. It's further apart than on Fighting Spirit, so it's more of a defensive map, I would say. But TechnicS going for some... Actually, I really dislike that build. I more or less only lost once against that build, which is 9 pool into hatchery. It's more or less only good against FE or 12 hatch like Sziky is doing right now. So you can put pressure on with the links and then use your links to buy time and get your second hatchery up.
Looks like that's exactly what he's doing. The hatchery needs a little bit more to finish, but even after it finishes, isn't going to help too much. The Lings are on the way for Sziky, but can TechnicS work down the hatchery? He's going to go and attack some of these drones, picking off one very quickly. Sziky was trying to pull it back, but it got stuck. And now working away on the hatchery, 600 health, 500 health, and they pull back to go and chase the drones. TechnicS needs to be careful because once those Lings come out, it's going to be a lot harder. 400 health, 300 health, 200 health,
He's not gonna save
100.
it.
And no, the Lings get there a little bit too late. The hatchery goes down, and TechnicS just going to head right back home. Sziky losing the hatchery, huge. Losing a significant amount of mining time with 6 drones.
God.
Huge.
It's a really interesting game and build order by TechnicS because he went a 3rd hatch before gas. So this will be more of an, I would say, great build or going into sport defense or maybe even Hydra build. We will see. Sziky still got some more drones and faster link speed, so he can try to use his links to put pressure on. Problem is that Sziky is now stuck on 1 hatchery and TechnicS will have 3 hatcheries.
Yeah,
I would say it's hard to say who is ahead right now. TechnicS is still a little bit ahead, but let's see how he can micro that.
Yeah, TechnicS is going to be able to flood with Lings here, and it's a little bit interesting, the positioning of the hatchery. I don't know if he wanted to build it in base, but there was an Overlord there. He might have been trying to dodge that. But if that's the case, he might have wanted to put it in the place where you'd put a versus Terran hatchery. Because an Overlord would not have seen that, and Sziky wouldn't have realized it. This does SimCity a little bit, but just because you're going to have so many more Lings... Oh,
and it's in the main. Nice run by.
Doesn't matter if you set up a SimCity ZVZ. Doesn't matter if you have twice as many Lings as your opponent. Sziky's still going to run by. It's just going to happen. So 3
Wow,
links
and
in the base. Oh.
really interesting decision by TechnicS, which is canceling the layer and now messing up some little bit on micro. He has some links in the open and
Yes.
will he get a drone? Uh,
Man.
3 kills on those links, but TechnicS is going for counter attack and ones with slow links against speed links.
Yeah, I'm surprised that TechnicS is going in so early. If he just waited
Yes,
a
he
little.
cancelled there.
Yeah, if he waited a little bit, he'd have a much higher lane count. He didn't quite wait enough to be able. He didn't quite wait enough until those 3 hatcheries really kicked in. So I feel like he just squandered away his lings. It's going to be a while before he can get up another ling force and try
Oh,
again.
that drone slide in the main.
Yeah, losing another one.
Using so many resources. He barely can use all his 3 hatcheries, and he gets out macroed out of 1 hatchery. And that links just killed 2 drones and some other links.
It's amazing how much pressure Sziky can put on off of 1 hatchery. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the Spire just completing for Sziky. So
Yeah.
Zeke's going to go into mutilus production. TechnicS only now starting his evolution chamber. He will be able to get spore colonies up just barely in time, but even with the spore colonies, he actually doesn't have that big of an economic advantage. It's
That
yeah, he does have some kind of economic advantage, but
yeah, Sziky is rather low on drones because he was completely making links right now, and he's only in a good position because of the heresy managed with the run by links, which is why he now can put even foot with his links against TechnicS links, or otherwise TechnicS would have a really good time on putting pressure on Sziky's base, but he's now stuck on many lavas. Okay, he's supply blocked.
Yeah.
And that one spore colony in its natural is manoing his minerals. If he's so late on tech, I would have made 1 spore at the bottom and 1 at the top.
now he's still going to be on 3 hatches compared to Zeke's. He's about to have 2. So it's
Yeah,
going to
but
be.
he will still be supply blocked.
Yeah, he's consistently supply blocked. It's going to be. I think that TechnicS is going to have a really kind of odd timing where he might be able to flood with so many lings that the few mutilus Sziky can produce off of only 1 gas might not be enough to stop them all.
I think he should already move out with those links and be more aggressive, but TechnicS is supply blocked 3 times in a row. And he just now managed to make enough overloads to use his lavas.
Wait,
So
what?
yeah, he's making a 2nd evolution chamber, and he's upgrading in 1 of them. This could most likely mean Hydras.
What? Oh, dear. TechnicS is a player who has gone Hydras in ZVZ before. We saw it from his qualifier games against Plubum, but that was when he was in a much better position than he was now, and he just wanted to end the game. That is a bold move, to say the least. He does manage to break through the lings that were containing him. Now moving in with a handful of speedlings, but it's not enough to do a whole lot of damage here. There is even a sunken colony in the main, if that wasn't already enough for the mutilisks.
Yeah,
He's gonna be able to
but
snipe one?
well, he
Yeah.
also saw the sunken colony. Oh, only 1 drone. Nice drone drill by Sziky. I was a little bit surprised that Sziky tried to attack with his links, and he also saw that TechnicS had more links, so I thought that Sziky would move his links back and try to micro down some links with his mutas, like he's right now. And nice attack by TechnicS,
Oh, man.
distracting the mutas and going in with some more links.
Yeah, it was almost really nice because he happened to be hiding his lings down there, and they almost discovered this hidden base coming up from Sziky,
Yeah.
but didn't quite get enough vision in there. So they're gonna
That was
back. So he doesn't yet know that Zeke's trying to sneak up a base here, and you predicted right, Bakuryu, as it did get +1 range started, is getting that Hydralisk dead.
Yeah, that was more or less a given.
Dear. Wow. Alright, so we're gonna go into... We're gonna see some Hydralisks. Now, Hydralisks are not terribly good versus Mutalisks, just because it's harder for the Hydralisk to clump up very well, and because the Hydralisks only do 5 damage a shot. They're worse than Marines in that regard. Oh, but if you can get to Defiler tech, then they become infinitely better. Because the Swarm really is going to make it so that Sziky loses all of his Mutalisks, essentially. And that's going to be so hard for him to actually find targets for them. As long as TechnicS' Swarm is good, if that's the direction he wants to go in.
Well, there is no lair anywhere inside, so he will most likely try Mass Hydra first.
Oh,
but
man.
the problem is that Sziky went a third hatchery at a third base before taking the second gas, and also he went +1 attack, which he has on his Mutalisks right now. So he's in an extremely good position because he is making many drones, and it plays it defensively because he saw that there was no lair in the main. He could have made it in a natural, but he didn't. So TechnicS is in a difficult spot because I think he did. Oh, he scouted the third hatchery, the third base. And let's see what Zyky's next step is. He's upgrading air armor and maybe.
Well, TechnicS finally now getting his lair very late into the game. There's a plethora of different things he could actually be going for off of that lair. I do hope it's Hive, though. Getting a 4th hatchery, though, in his base, an indication that he really is going to flood all of those low-cost units. 1-1 has finished for his Hydralisks, and speed is on the way. And finally, TechnicS does discover this third base from Sziky. He really can't do anything about it, though. His Hydralisk can't really move out, and as you can see, the Mutalisks... the Mutalisks are just going to be able to micro them down without too much of an issue here. They do obviously have a lot more health than Marines, but they just can't do very much damage, especially when they're slow like this.
Sziky could also try to take down the gas in the natural of TechnicS because the Spore is quite out of position to protect that. But getting the hatchery looks like it will work.
Might need a little bit more. TechnicS trying to step forward with the Hydralisk, getting a couple shots off.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, doing some damage at least. Sziky can't quite engage the big ball like this. He needs to try to pick off the fringes of the Hydralisks. Ooh, otherwise he's going to start losing his Mutalisk cloud. His Mutalisks are very expensive compared to the Hydralisks. And what is he doing with his lair tech? Oh, he needed lair tech to get +2.
Yeah.
Clearly that was the reason for the lair tech. Also getting
and he also gets Aspire. This is a really nice idea. But if you look on TechnicS gas amount, there is 2 possibilities what TechnicS can do in this situation. Either he can try... Oh, okay, there are 3 possibilities. Either he can go Mass Hydra and add in some Lurker against the links, what most likely Sziky should make, Link. Or he can go to Defile Attack, or he can go Hydra Mutalisk, which is okay if Sziky is stuck on 2 gas or gets a really late 3rd gas. But Sziky is already on 3 bases and he gets the hatchery really nice. Yeah. Okay, the cost of some Mutalisks, but getting the hatchery was really nice.
That Spire does scare me, because if he goes for Mutalisks, he's just going to be investing a lot of money into something that's not upgraded. Where Sziky's Mutalisks are already 1-1, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2 on the way. Yeah, 2 armor on the way.
It's... how should I explain it? It's just more muscle than Hydra only. And you also get better mobility with those Mutalisks.
Yeah, but Queen's Nest is on the way in the natural. We will see Defilers, and I do think Defilers are the correct decision in this. That Swarm just completely neutralizes the Mutalisks, and it really forces Sziky into a tech switch, or else he has a really uphill battle dealing with Hydras under Swarm. Sziky coming in for a little bit of Muta harass here. He's just going to eat a lot of shots from these Spore colonies, but he is getting a good number of drones, not losing any Mutalisks. Nice, good micro by him. He did take a lot of shots, but got the drone kills, and that's what matters. Really going to hamper TechnicS' economy. Whew. And 2-2 is almost done for TechnicS, as the Hydralisks are getting a little bit aggressive. This...
yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Sziky is going that sunken heavy and is not tagging anywhere. Okay, now he's getting Hive, but if TechnicS gets Hive right now and gets the Defiler out, I don't see how Sziky will stop him. Because yeah, he has Mutalisks, but one plague and you can just leave the game.
Yeah. Sziky, as you said, Sziky's getting a Queen's Nest as well, and in the same way that a couple of Defilers are really going to neutralize Sziky's tech choice in the Mutalisks, a Defiler's really going to neutralize TechnicS' tech choice in the Hydralisks. If Sziky switches into Hydra Crackling, or excuse me, Defiler Crackling, these Hydralisks are going to have a really hard time against that.
Yeah, it looks like a good idea to go Defiler Crackling against a Hydra Zerg. The problem is he can just spend 200 on lurker upgrade and get 3 lurkers, and then your...
That's why you need the Ultralisks.
The Swarm. Yeah, but for Ultralisk you need a good amount of bases and economy and more than 2 gas. Because Sziky is not taking his 3rd gas. He's quite low on drones, actually, in his natural.
Oh, Mutalisk just missing out on that hatchery. They could have easily sniped that. Would have been like 2 shots until that hatchery died. Maybe TechnicS wouldn't have even had a chance to cancel it. The Mutalisk will fly over again. Now they see it, but TechnicS should cancel. There we go. Oh, if they had come back before, they would have actually killed it before TechnicS had a chance to cancel it. But, plus...
Greater Spire.
Yeah, +3 air weapons on the way. Greater Spire. Are we going to see some Devourers with absolutely no Mutalisk support? Quite possibly. Ooh, Sziky taking a lot of damage. These Hydralisks are getting in such big numbers that even though they don't do a whole lot of damage, just 6, they're really starting to get dangerous anyway. Sziky needs to be careful about where he brings in those Mutalisks. Those Mutalisks are very expensive. And, wow, TechnicS... Okay, there we go. Definitely can pick off that Overlord.
And, oh god, Sziky is also going Greater Spire, and that will most likely mean Guardians. And this could be extremely strange fight with Guardian Muta against Devour Hydra. I have no idea who will win that.
The Guardians are gonna morph up here and be in a really good siege position.
Yeah, but...
And then TechnicS will just be able to constantly swarm and protect that position, but Swarm doesn't cover buildings. So
and Swarm is not ready.
And Swarm is not ready, but I think that,
Oh,
if he starts Consume right now... Oh, he's not getting Consume.
no.
No, he's getting Mutalisk instead. Oh,
Yeah, he will get some Devourers now, and would fight Mutalisks that way. With nice micro on top of the ridge.
Oh, getting some Scourge hits as well. Yeah, they're stepping forward, and actually, he's going to accidentally find the Guardians with this Overlord here. So, but now there's a huge amount of Guardians. Those Hydralisks can do nothing against that many. Funneling through this choke. TechnicS now has to figure out a way. Oh, Guardians, they can be stupid at times. They can get in range of Spore colonies, even though they should be able to outrange it. Sziky does need to micro them a little bit in that regard. But they're going to tear through this base so quickly. And what does he have as a response? He has some Devours, but that's not enough. The Devours don't do damage quickly enough. Sziky's Mutalisks are still going to be able to win. Oh, and keep in mind that Sziky's Mutalisks do have a heavy upgrade advantage over TechnicS. Which also helps, but TechnicS, he doesn't have the damage dealers here. He can just slow down. Oh, Scourge coming in and landing on all the Mutalisks, which means the Devourers are completely unguarded. Oh no, TechnicS won't have a way of saving his Guardians. from a constant Scourge Barrage. They're all going to go down. He just needs to shoot as much as possible, do as much damage as possible. Meanwhile,
And the Hydra counter
yeah,
attack.
going for a counterattack, but all of those Sunken Colonies that got thrown down are really going to help out. Oh, but there are just Devours left. So it's the Devours on Devours. Look at how slow they shoot. It's a staring contest. They're so covered in goo.
Yeah, in contest.
Oh, man. Isn't it beautiful? The Scourge are eventually going to be able to take out these Guardians, but I thought he was going to be able to keep one Mutalisk left over. The Hydras are now coming in. Okay, the Hydras will be able to clear this up, but he lost so much here. Didn't lose the Defiler Mound, though. Surprisingly, I guess Sziky just wasn't heading down in that direction. Doesn't quite finish off this hatchery either. And they're just going to look at each other.
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
Well, Sziky really got a better end on this fight. Now TechnicS has more or less no base. He has only his main, which is mined out shortly, and Sziky is still on 3 bases and secured with the Sunkens.
Yep, Sziky up 20 supply at this point. There are a whole mess of spores here, so it's going to be really hard for Sziky to actually do damage, but as long as he's containing TechnicS, it doesn't allow him to set up this third base here. It's going to be a
Nice upgrades on the Hydra lists.
Absolutely. 3-2 Hydralisks and a ZVZ. Absolutely delicious. So, going in for the attack, going to once again force the cancel on this hatchery. Force the cancel. The cancel.
Answer? Okay. Oh
no,
god.
doesn't cancel. Mistake there. It's 200 something minerals thrown away. Oh, but the Mutalisk's flying a little bit too close, getting in range of those Hydralisks.
And TechnicS is making some Mutalisks again, most likely for additional Devour.
Yep.
And that will make it really easy to fight the Mutalisks, but now the map is against TechnicS, with Mutas all over the cliff.
Yeah, he's having a really hard time microing these Mutalisks down now. As you said, the Devourers, they won't be able to do a lot of damage to the Mutalisks, but it's really about just getting those acid spores, slowing down their attack speed, and letting the really high rate of fire from the Hydralisks just eat through the Mutalisks. And oh no, they do snipe the hatchery, but it's going to cost Sziky a good number of Mutalisks in the process. Doesn't matter though, completely denying mining at the natural, and he is mined out in the main, so he's forced to long distance mine for the time being, and that hatchery snipe really going to put TechnicS back. I mean, it was an off-place hatch to begin with, so it wasn't exactly the most efficient mining in the world, but it was something where TechnicS now just can't do anything until this hatchery comes up, and TechnicS is putting all of his marbles into keeping that base safe, but there is a whole mess of Mutalisks and Cracklings coming out, and this might be the game-ending attack from Sziky right here. Oh, here they come. There is no lurker, so those Cracklings are going to eat through the Hydralisks so quickly. There are Devours overhead, but Sziky split up his Mutalisks. It means that they can be taken out by the Hydralisks pretty effectively, but those Cracklings are going in. They've taken out about half the Hydralisks, but it looks like the Hydralisks have regrouped, so Sziky will be forced to move back. Spreading out the Mutalisks means that they didn't all come in at the same time, and that high level of Hydralisk was actually able to pick off the Mutalisks rather quickly because they weren't in a clump. Need to avoid the acid spores, though. It was the right way to micro it. But it will mean that TechnicS can live a little bit longer. He got this base up, and mistake from him. He actually sent his drones around for one more long-distance mine, even though the base was up.
In the fight, a crucial part was that the TechnicS Hydras had 2 armor, and Sziky's Lynx had no attack upgrade, so they didn't do that much damage. But now, a 2-pronged attack with the Mutas and the Lynx. Ooh, that should be hard to defend.
Yep.
Because TechnicS has nothing to defend. And now he's chasing the Mutalisks.
He doesn't even have a Mutalisk pack to go and send down to attack the Lynx. He has to send Hydralisks. But he can't afford to send too many. Sziky sniping the Hydralisk den, and that Hydralisk den is in fact going to go down. But he's not going to be able to get too much else. Still though, sniping the Hydralisk den. Oh, he's even going to snipe... thinking about sniping that Defiler Mound, but no. Well, Mound's just going to sit out there. Chilling. Oh, man. Rebuilding the Hydralisk den at the third, as the third is really the only thing he needs to defend at this point. He's not going to build much else other than other than Hydralisks. He would like to keep the Greater Spire alive if possible, but it's not an absolute necessity. Oh, but the economy of Sziky is just going to overwhelm him. And Sziky now getting up a fourth base. There's nothing TechnicS can do. He has to play this so defensively to stay alive.
Yeah, he has to really play defensively, and he has to find something to somehow combat the Neuralisks. And he always struggled against the Neuralisks in that game.
Oh. TechnicS Lings do have 2 armor, but Sziky has crack. So Zyky's Lings are actually going to be able to win that engagement. And he wants to use the Cracklings to take down a lot of the Spore Colonies so the Mutalisks can harass as well. He's taking down 2, taking down 3. Now, okay, they're dividing their attention as he's trying to micro these Mutalisks, delay the Hydralisks from getting in. Also snapping the Defiler Mound. This should be a really easy pick-off for him just by using the Cliff. Oh, Devour's going to get a hit off or 2. Ooh, Mutalisk can't get that close there. Meanwhile, the Lings in the base finally cleared up. They didn't quite snipe that hatchery. Not that that hatchery is terribly important at this point. TechnicS really can't afford to produce off of that many on only one base. And these Mutalisks are just doing so much damage. TechnicS has no mobility, so he can't defend anything. Oh, and he's going to be supply blocked once again. Sziky taking base number 5, bottom right.
It's interesting. It's funny how Sziky has 3 armor upgrades and is now getting +2 attack upgrade for his Mutalisks. If TechnicS had gotten down the Devourer or Defiler with Plague, then it would have been a quite different game, but Sziky played that out really good.
Yeah, TechnicS had a crucial moment where he could choose between Devourers and Defilers. And he chose Devourers, trying to get a lot of those asset scores off, but it just didn't work out for him. And after that one engagement with the Guardians, he was never in a position again to really invest in the Defilers to make them effective. So he was just stuck with his lot, had to go stick with the Hydralisk Devour, and it just wasn't going to work out. It looks like TechnicS going for an attack now with the remaining Hydralisks, but here come the Mutalisks once again, kind of split out. There's actually not that many Mutalisks, but it doesn't matter. Oh, there
Just
are more
much.
coming
Oh,
in
God.
from back. And GG from TechnicS. Sziky taking game number 1.
Really interesting game. Starting with 9 pool against 12 hedge.
Yeah, keep that in mind. TechnicS.
That remembers me of my game against South Park. Just saying, not that I lost with a 9 pool against 12 hedge.
Alright, the game is up. Is the splash correct?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I can't see it.
No, it's not. So,
Let's just start.
Folon?
Let's just start the name game.
Yeah.
Next game.
Waiting for it to load. But Folon, look at this. See where the issues are? See where the issues are? Alright. So, it is worth pointing out that Sziky is 4-3 versus TechnicS, but that is not the series of this. That is not the score of this series. That is just their current win-loss against each other. TechnicS was actually ahead, but after factoring in last night / this morning's Defiler tour, Sziky 2-0 TechnicS and pulled ahead in the series. So they are 4-3 lifetime across a lot of different tournaments. But going into game number 2, Sziky versus TechnicS on Taucross. In the top right position, we have Sziky as the teal Zerg. And in the bottom position, we have TechnicS as the blue Zerg. As I said, the map is Taucross. And this map has a very large main, specifically the distance from the main to the natural, which means that holding off some of that early Ling aggression can be difficult if you're not microing absolutely correctly.
I agree, but also the distances of the mains are quite far, so you could play main hedge and get away against 9 pool, for example, which is why I often play main hedge, especially on the bottom position where TechnicS is, because it's a little bit hard to wall off at that position against mass links. So I just go mass links myself. And I'm really interested how TechnicS will play this right now, because in the first game he lost with a 9 pool against 12 hedge, which is not the best position to be in. But now his overlord is heading into the right direction to Sziky's natural, and he will see the 9 pull from Sziky coming. And TechnicS goes...
9 pull himself.
Yeah. So this could be a tricky, sneaky Ling run-around game or some defensive game. We will see.
Yeah. Sziky is deciding to not cancel his extractor, so going to be getting faster gas.
Oh,
compared to
he cancelled
TechnicS.
extractor. That will be a hybrid build again. The same build he did in the first game, which I more or less called self-owned build. I have my personal reasons for that. But Sziky going 9 per speed, and he had a good micro in the first game with Ling run by and stuff like that. So let's see how TechnicS defended this time.
Well, Hydras are a long ways off. Phase 1 is holding off Sziky Lings, and this time you will not have the huge advantage of Sziky being not only significantly behind you of when he can get his first Lings out, but you can produce 3 hatches compared to his 1. And
Yeah.
Sziky was even with you, despite the fact that he had 1/3 of the production. Now Sziky has even? Ooh. No, it's
Yeah,
not going to
that
be
was
even. But
Yeah, that was the problem of the Ling run by. If he wouldn't get Ling run by, he didn't have to cancel the lair in his main because he had no money to support lavas and attack because he had to drone drill and all that to deny the links. Deny the run by links and to kill them. But right now it should be. Let's hope that he doesn't let links into his base, or else I see not a bright future for TechnicS.
yeah, let's hope that he actually can deny scouting for a while, because he is going again for that 3rd hatchery in the natural. So it does look like, as you said, he's going for some kind of weird build, possibly Hydralisks. And Sziky
He has the same amount of links, and now Sziky has more links if those 2 come in.
and speed just finishing for Sziky. That's going to be a huge advantage for him, really allowing him to get run-bys against slow lings. Oh, first ling goes down.
Nice, Mike.
Oh, and now Ziky's whittling away on it.
Nice.
Half health on the hatchery.
Oh,
Sziky, there are a lot of opportunities Sziky could take at any moment to sneak in, but no, TechnicS finally getting the surround that he needed to eliminate a lot of these lings, but Ziky's still going to be out ahead, and more
Sziky
lings.
had a better arc in that fight. TechnicS links were away at the hatchery and still not attacking, while Sziky's links were all attacking. So, will the hatchery go down?
Yes,
It
definitely
goes
gonna snipe
down.
that. Oh, in this game, it will be Sziky who snipes the initial hatchery, and now Ziky's lings are doing a lot of damage, taking out all the opposing Zerglings, and now there are a lot of drones to feast on. Ooh,
It's like all drones.
yep, 1, 2, before the lings back off. Still has 4 of them left. There are 2 drones mining for TechnicS. Oh, wow. That is not a good position to be in. And he is now pulling back the drones to get mine from an off-placed hatchery. Sziky might be able to win with just flooding speedlings off of 1 base. But he is, in fact, ending the Spire. So, whether he could have done it or not, we're not going to find out, because Mutalisks are on the way, and there's no way TechnicS can afford spores at this point, considering his current mining situation.
Yeah.
Oh, he does not have drones to spare.
And he still has no links need, so if you know Sziky links in your base against Protoss, they will survive forever, and GG.
And GG, a much quicker game number 2. Sziky now up 2-0. Still undefeated in ISL. 8-0 so far. We'll see if he can maintain undefeatedness into the round of 4, or if TechnicS can mount a comeback. Next game. There we go. Ignore the 1 in the title. That means nothing. So, I would like to point everybody to look at the picture of TechnicS when it comes back around. Because when I read his interview, I was surprised. He looked like such a happy dude. or in his interview, he talks like such a happy dude. But his
Yeah.
picture just looks like
I,
he's incapable of smiling.
I don't know his picture, so yeah. What is this map?
La Mancha.
Oh, didn't know that we had this map.
We have... There it is. Look at the picture. We have Sziky as a blue
I can't.
Zerg, top right. Not you, the viewers.
Okay.
Sziky is a blue Zerg, top right. We have TechnicS as a yellow Zerg, bottom left. To continue up on that, though, you don't even know the whole picture of that story, or the whole story of that picture. Because it wasn't just a headshot when I got it, I had to crop it. It's actually a picture of TechnicS holding a trophy he won for playing StarCraft. He is holding a StarCraft trophy, and
Nice.
he still just has that expression. It's almost as if to say, he's looking at the camera and thinking, semifinals, game 2. I was storm dropped, and I lost 4 drones. I will never be able to get those drones back. And this trophy is nothing but a constant reminder of my failure. And it's like, wow, TechnicS, you should be a lot happier. You just won a StarCraft trophy. But no, he looks really angry about it. And I was so surprised to see he's like happy in his interview and he's making jokes. But TechnicS going to 9 pool once again.
I actually hope that TechnicS won't play the same build again, because he lost with it against 12 hedge after being in an advantage, I would say. And now he lost against 9 pool speed lane. And what else is there to lose to? If you lose with the same build against the 2 most opposite builds, I would not recommend it anymore.
It's fine, man. Ziky's going 12th pool.
Yeah,
It's
and
something
now he will
different.
most likely lose to the 12th pool.
Yeah.
Because if you lose to 9 pool and the 12 hedge, you will most likely also lose to anything else with that build.
Probably. But TechnicS, he's not going to have Overlord scouting in the right direction. Even if he did, he probably wasn't going... the Lings probably wouldn't be able to do much damage anyway, as Sziky just throwing down his hatchery now. Yeah, we'll see if he can do enough damage in the early game to make his late game
can't.
Hydralisk switch viable.
Yeah.
I don't like Hydralisk in ZVZ. I'm not a fan. I wrote a paper on how much I don't like Hydralisks. You can go look that up on Team
I'm a fan
Liquid.
of Hydralisks, but I'm not a fan of TechnicS build.
It's just Hydralisks like lose to everything. They
It's just that 9 pull into expansion gives you 2 hatcheries with 0 economy. So you either have to stop completely the aggression with no speed, because you can't put on pressure if the enemy has speed. And if Sziky would go 3 hatch speed links right now out of his 12 pool, he will just win. There is no way TechnicS can hold this, except if he goes 3 Thunkens and completely blocks anything, but he will still has 9 drones maximum. Now Sziky tries to defend it with drones, which you normally do, but he will realize soon that there is no speed coming, and it's actually hard to see that. To see that TechnicS is going that build right now, because it's cross position. And now Sziky will most likely go mass links and just try to attack. And then he will see, oh, there are 3 hatcheries.
yeah. I still don't understand why TechnicS feels it's necessary to build the hatchery. It is natural every time. Because you're...
Because it's easier to block mass links when you make a sunken, and
Yeah, but you're going to be going mass lings. You should have more lings than your opponent, so it really doesn't matter. Right?
yeah,
That's why. I would think you'd take a little bit more precaution to hide it. I mean, not in Game 3. In Game 3, it's pretty clear this is what you're going to do. But in,
Yeah.
in Games 1 or 2, maybe. Just try to get a little bit sneakier about it.
nice Sziky, I mean.
Yeah. Sziky sniping the first ling, getting into a good position to start to do some damage on these hatcheries, but TechnicS should be able to flood out more lings if he can get them all to engage at the same time, which he's having a little bit of an issue doing. He had more lings in that fight, but they almost came out with even numbers. Sziky forced to back off, though. His lings are a little bit injured. Speed has finished for Sziky, though. TechnicS' speed only halfway. The Spire is Spire's going to be a pretty significant problem for TechnicS. He does have a significantly better economy than he did last time, though. So this time he will be able to get up some spores to defend. And you have to think that that is part of the game plan, just getting up those spores. But is it going to be too much of a hit to the economy? That's what he really needs to worry about.
Well, TechnicS is now going speed. He took the gas and took speed. Speed just finished, and now will mass more links. And he has like 0 economy to defend against Mulas, so yep, Sziky is defending it correctly with Sunken. Because now he has the speed to put on pressure, but it's extremely late speed.
Sziky, in fact, even getting another one. He has an Overlord in position. He can see the relative link numbers from TechnicS, so he knows that maybe one Sunken isn't quite going to be enough. There are a huge number of links out.
I wouldn't be surprised if he will get a third Sunken or something to block in the front, because he sometimes doesn't make 3 Sunkens against me. But let's see the Ling attack.
I think an Evo Chamber might be nice. He does have this Mutalisk on the way. There's a drone out front, and it is going to build another creep colony. That Sunken colony will not finish for when TechnicS wants to move in, but TechnicS, it looks like he's gearing up for the bust attempt against Sziky. Sziky, he's just not going to have enough time for that creep colony, and with the Mutalisk out, TechnicS has to go whether he wanted to or not, and he's going to try to focus down some of the creep colonies. He's not doing a whole lot of damage. His Lings are actually getting stuck. Sziky now moving in with his Lings. He's actually going to be able to save one of the Sunken colonies. Good job by Sziky to allow maximum damage to it and then save it, and he is going to crush that fight with the Lings moving out now, and now Mutalisks are out on the field. No spore colonies for TechnicS. No evolution chamber for TechnicS. And, oh boy, TechnicS has issues.
Yeah.
It looks like the Lings are going to miss each other, but Sziky has a Sunken colony up and a few Lings back at home to defend, and TechnicS really does not have any response to the Mutalisk coming over, so he needs to go in for a bust with his Lings. He's going to be able to focus down the Sunken colony, get the remaining Lings, and just a few left. He's going to need to do a lot of damage with this as the Mutalisk is picking off every last drone eventually. Oh, but even bringing in Lings to help out with that. Oh, TechnicS. Oh, the TechnicS Zerglings. The TechnicS Zerglings have been cleared up. They did a little bit of damage, but not enough. And that Mutalisk is just not going to die. It already had 6 kills. He has no anti-air.
No evolution chamber inside.
Yeah, TechnicS is all in. He's going to send yet another Ling attack. There is no Sunken colony at the front anymore. But Sziky's going to be able to hold the ramp. And as long as and it doesn't matter if he loses his hatchery, because he will eventually take out all the drones with his Mutalisk. He just needs to not die. TechnicS does have more Lings, it looks like, but Sziky's doing a good job holding at the top of the ramp. And now he's going to back off a little bit. Did he set up a Sunken? Yes, he is setting up a Sunken in his main, but it's not done yet. Technically,
the Mutalisk is not attacking.
Oh, the Mutalisk is not attacking. Okay. But it doesn't matter because the economy's already destroyed of TechnicS. He needs to go and win right now. He didn't get all the Lings. He didn't get all the Lings. He can continue to focus on that hatchery, take it out, but it doesn't matter because he only has 4 drones left. And those 4 drones are going to die.
Yeah.
Well.
And now TechnicS is in a really hard spot. He's down 0-3, most likely. Yeah, GG.
Alright. Did I close my window? No, I forgot to close my window. I'm gonna do that. There we go. Alright. So.
Yes.
Sziky looking pretty strong. Game is up.
Yeah, Sziky is looking pretty strong. His sling micro is really good. In the second game, there was like nothing TechnicS could have done better to defend that Ling attack. He would have needed drones to defend it, but it was really good micro in the Tarkos game. And here, on Le Mans, Sziky did the right decisions going Masling, and he reacted in a good way against that build. So he ended up with more drones and a Mutalisk. And we will see if TechnicS decides to go for maybe a different build. Maybe he will go his main hatch or overgas, which we haven't seen anywhere. Which, in my opinion, would be even really good against Sziky, because in my experience, Sziky rarely goes 12 hatch. It's like every 10th game or so he will go 12 hatch. And I think TechnicS will have a better way of winning a game with overgas or main hatch compared to his 9 pool build, because it just lost against every of Sziky's builds. So we will see. Both players are scouting in the wrong direction. We have Sziky at the top right and TechnicS at the top left position, and both make an overlord.
Sziky is looking absolutely invincible, but it is worth pointing out that commentating today is somebody who recently defeated Sziky in a best of 5. That's right, I beat Sziky in a best of 5. I completely destroyed him. I'm just so good at ZVZ, it was amazing. No,
you did?
No, it was you, Baku. You beat him in a best of 5, and I'm not kidding about that one, in the Defiler Tour. So, Baku, how does one beat Sziky in ZVZ?
I just didn't get that question because I couldn't hear it completely.
How do you beat Sziky in ZVZ? What did you do?
The first game on Fighting Spirit was 9 pool layer against 9 pool speed. And I won that with Muda Micro, I would say. I don't really get how I won that. The second game, I already started with a 1-0 lead because I came from the winner bracket. And so I was 2-0 leading, and then he chose Heartbreak Ridge. And I thought he would go 12 pool because the last 5-6 times we played on that map, some month ago, he always played 12 pool. So I played 12 hatch, but he went 9 pool there, and completely out-macroed me that game. And I chose Matchpoint because I got good results on Matchpoint lately. And we had a 12 pool mirror game, 12 pool elf hatch, 11 gas, 11 hatch, damn German. And I went speed first, but he went lair first, and I did a one by with his links, with my links against his front on Matchpoint, and then killed like 4 or 5 drones. And then it was easier game, I would say. So it was quite fun that I won both a mirror builds, but lost the one with different builds.
So
now TechnicS is going for a 3 hatchery build again, but this time going out of doing it with an overpool, which is more of the way Satanic would do, and that is more possible compared to the 9 pool. But Sziky went for, I'm not exactly sure, was that 12 pool?
It was an in-base 12 hatch.
Okay, okay. Haven't seen him play main hatch lately, so...
Taking a page out of the TechnicS book. And I think that this is going to be very strong, because Sziky's going to be able to flood enough lanes to beat back TechnicS, doesn't have to worry about the liability of the front hatch, and then still be able to get out a good number of Mutalisks to get a good attack off on TechnicS. And as we saw before, it's not as if TechnicS is going to be producing Mutalisks of his own. So I really like this decision from Sziky. I think might be the best build. I say that tentatively, but I really think it's a very strong counter to what TechnicS is doing. TechnicS even feeling compelled to throw down a Sunken Colony Despite the fact
Well,
he's going to be producing lings off of 3 hatches. That is
he
surprising.
needs a sunken colony, or else he is stuck on making links on all 3 hatcheries to survive.
Yeah.
And Sziky will have more drones and really nice arc, and just too many links and not good enough defense. The overlord is blocking, I can see it. But the sunken is going down really fast, and there are still more links coming in, and oh god, this could be this GG.
GG.
That was
Sorry for
fast.
bad game. Yo, you did not have bad games. Game 1. It doesn't matter what else happened. Just game 1. TechnicS did amazing. But Sziky is going to win 4-0. Well, like a boss. Oh, let me change that. Boom. Alright, so that concludes the TechnicS vs. Sziky series, the third 4-0 of the
That
round of
was
8.
That series was really strange. It looked like TechnicS wasn't himself, because that was just no.
Oh, we are moving on to the 4th series. We'll see if we have 4 for 4 4-0s, or if one of these 2 players can make a series of it. It will be boom, Michael versus Semi. Gonna be good. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna play the commercial first. Be back on the other side. And we're back.
Yay!